Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Wallace Gromit, The Wrong Trousers. Now, as you know, Wallace Gromit, The Wrong Trousers was a 1993 stop-motion animated British film, which was the second film in the Wallace and Gromit short films, as well as Nick Park's second attempt in doing another Wallace and Gromit film. And keep in mind that, in the US it aired on December the 17th, well, in the UK it aired during Boxing Day in 1993. And I think, after the Grand Day Out, you can tell they really try to strengthen up the sort of animation, do a bit more with Wallace and Gromit's house, and I think they really do a better job than the last one. So the premise of the film is meant to feature how it's Gromit's birthday, and we see how Wallace gives him two presents. A collar, as well as a set of robotic techno trousers, which kind of takes Gromit and Nat for a walk. And we kind of see how Wallace decides to kind of let in some new roommates, and do the kind of not being able to pay his rent, and deciding to kind of use the empty room to kind of pay up the rent. We kind of see how a young penguin known as Feathers McGraw slowly enters to the Wallace and Gromit residence and tries to slowly take over Gromit's life. And we kind of see how at first Gromit does feel a little left out. He feels like, Feathers McGraw is slowly taking over his life. But we later see that there's more truths about Feathers McGraw than there is. And it also leaves Gromit to help save his master, as well as making sure to save the day with Wallace's help. And I think for the most part, I think the film really does try to make Feathers McGraw a better villain than the villain from the sort of last film. Because one, he basically plans one thing from that thing, and that thing from that thing, showing to be this genius thief, as well as using a sort of red sort of glove to make people think he's a sort of chicken. So obviously, going with a sort of bandit-like storyline. And I think for the most part, I think the film really does kind of hit the emotional levels. Like, when you've got Gromit in his doghouse and kind of deciding to leave and kind of looking at the picture of Wallace and him, you can tell he does feel hurt about Wallace taking him for granted and deciding to leave. And I think what they also get right at is also giving a big epic climax, where we kind of see how they try to kind of catch Feathers McGraw, and we kind of see them using the train set to kind of get around. And I think they really do try to bring a lot more atmosphere to it. And I know that, when you also got the sort of 2003 game Wallace and Gromit Project Sue, they actually do bring back Feathers McGraw as the main villain in that game. And I think it's a shame that, Project Sue never got a sort of animated adaptation. And I think it would have been an interesting sort of take on the sort of game. But I get it, sometimes you can't always expect things to be what they're supposed to. And I think, Ron Trousers is that iconic film, where, you've got Feathers McGraw as a bit more cunning there, a bit more different from the villain from A Grand Day Out. And you notice there's a bit more locations around the city, a bit more locations in the house, and we kind of see how Wallace kind of uses his bed to kind of go down into the kitchen and get his sort of clothes on. And I give it credit, when you've got the museum, it's kind of got these sort of models of these kind of caveman-like penguins. And I think they actually do a better job than the last one, which felt a bit mediocre. But I think this one definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still better than the last one, and improves itself quite well. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.